Good evening, everyone. So, I'm starting the class. So, in the previous class, we learned about the introductory portion of the pharmaceutical jurisprudence, and we talked about the what is the law, what is jurisprudence, what is ethics, and some research institutes and their locations, and the pharmacopoeial informations, and some health survey committees. There were the Bore committee, the Bhatia committee, Mudaliar committee, Hathi committee, and the DEC was also there. That is the DEC is what? What is DEC? Anyone? DEC is the Drug Inquiry Committee. Okay, and it was established, and the chairman was the Colonel Ramnath Chopra. And after the publication of report of the DEC, Drug Inquiry Committee, Mahadevlal Shroff started the pharmacy education in India. So this was all about the introductory portion of the pharmaceutical jurisprudence. Now we are going to start one of the most important topics for your exam point of view, that is the Pharmacy Act and rules. So today my network connection is very poor due to the weather. So whenever I am asking something, if you are receiving my message, try to answer as soon as possible. Okay? Because once the connection is lost, I was having problem in joining also. So I am telling that. So in starting of the Pharmacy Act and rules, we need to focus on some points that are: the Pharmacy Act governs the practice of pharmacy in India. So, the practice of pharmacy means the education regarding the pharmacy, the profession of pharmacy. Everything is enacted under the Pharmacy Act and rule. We have to maintain the rules and regulation of the Pharmacy Act for providing some kind of medicaments, for studying whatever we are studying in the pharmacy syllabus of ours, that one, and also the professional field of the pharmacy is governed by this act. Making right medicaments available to the public in the primary obligation is the primary obligation of the pharmacy in order to safeguard the public health. So we can't provide any kind of like uh, anything as medication. There must be some guidelines that we have to obey for providing some medication or production of some medication, distribution. In everything, I was telling in the previous week also in the introductory class that even if some drug is colored, that color will also have some regulation of usage of some color. We can't use everything. We have to use some particular things for the production of the medicaments and providing the medicaments also. So that kind of rules and regulation, everything comes under the Pharmacy Act and rule. In the year 1948, this act was passed. That means just after the independence. 1947 was the year of independence of India, and 1948 is the year of the passing of Pharmacy Act. This came into force in 4th March in 1948. So the act was passed and it came into force means it was enacted. It started acting, okay, from the 4th March 1948, and there were three amendments in this act, means inclusion of new things and also expulsion of something, including and excluding things, are the amendments. Amendment happened in 1959, 1976 and 1981. If you can't remember the years of amendment, it's okay, but try to remember the years of passing every act. I will provide one chart also on the next week, and you will revise from that chart. So this is the introductory part of the Pharmacy Act, and now there are some chapters and sections. Every act consisted of some chapters and sections. You also have seen in movies and web series that if there is any kind of courtroom drama, they say that according to this section of this act, this offense is this is an offense, or this person is guilty. So there is chapters and sections in every act, and Pharmacy Act 1948 contains 5 chapters and 46 sections. I told in the previous week that the jurisprudence is all about memorizing, and you have to just revise for memorizing it properly. And there is nothing conceptual like pharmacognosy. So in the chapters and sections, there are 5 chapters, chapter 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, these are the, and there is section 46. So separate section consisted of separate chapters. Chapter 1 consists of section 1 and 2. Section 30, there will be 3 to 18 is under the chapter 2. 19 to 28 section is under chapter 3. 29 to 40th section under chapter 4. And the 41 to 46 section is under chapter 5. So the descriptions, like what the chapters contain, which kind of information are consistent in those chapters. So in chapter 1, the introduction of the Pharmacy Act is there, the introductory part. Now in chapter 2, there is Pharmacy Council of India, that is Constitution of Pharmacy Council of India is consisted in chapter 2. In chapter 3, there is State Pharmacy Council Constitution, that is the SPC, and that contains the section 19 to 28. In chapter 4, the registration of pharmacists. After completing your bachelor degree, you are going to get your registration. So that registration of pharmacists have some rules and regulation guidelines also. So that kind of informations are gathered in chapter 4, and chapter 5 is miscellaneous. So from that thing you can memorize that everything regarding your study and also your registration, that is your profession, is related to the Pharmacy Act. The syllabus of your study is also included. We are going to study the education regulation in the next slide, and there we will also study about the syllabus and everything, how they are guided in the Pharmacy Act. So the practice of pharmacy, the study and the profession, these things are maintained by the Pharmacy Act. Now there are 46 sections, so everything can't be memorized. So there are certain sections that are important from your exam point of view, and we are going to remember only that things. So the section 3, that is the Central Council constituted. Central Council means the Pharmacy Council of India, PCI. Next, section 4, the University Grants Commission was established. Section 10 consists of the education regulations. The approved course of study and examination. As I told that the education related things of the pharmacy is also guided by the Pharmacy Act. So in section 12, there is the approved courses of study and the examination. In section 14, there is foreign qualification. Section 15A, central register. Central register consists of all details of the pharmacist, whoever are there in total India. The central register consists of those kind of informations. In section 16, inspection by PCI, when to inspect, how to inspect, how many person will be there, every information are consisted in section 16. Section 19, State Council constituted State Pharmacy Council. Section 20 is the interstate agreement. After the constitution of the State Council, there will be interstate agreement. In see the last point, section 21, Joint State Pharmacy Council was established. Joint State Pharmacy Council means two different states will agree to form one single state pharmacy council. That is the Joint State Pharmacy Council. So, after the interstate agreement, Joint State Pharmacy Council was established. In the section 26A, the inspection by SPC, that is the State Pharmacy Council. The PCI inspection happens in section number 16 and after plus 10, 26A. Okay, in 16, inspection by PCI. In 26A, inspection by SPC. In 36, the removal from register. Which kind of contraventions are there for not getting into the register, that is the removal of register. That kind of informations are in section 36. In section 46, there is power to make rules. What are the qualification, eligibility, what is the power, what is the thing to have to make rules, that are included in the section number 46. So any problem up to this, let me know.
No, ma'am.
These are all about memorizing actually. So very few things are to understand. That is almost 1%. So rest of the thing you just have to memorize and memorize. So the more you will revise, the more you can memorize. So in the education regulation is also a part of section 10 of the Pharmacy Act. So as per section 10 of the Pharmacy Act 1948, PCI also made regulation called education regulation with approval of central government. Of course, there will be approval of central government as Pharmacy Council of India is also part of central government. So first education regulation as approved by the Ministry of Health and Family Welfare was notified on 11th of July 1953. Then after some amendment, after 1953, the second education regulation was in 1972, third one 1981, fourth 1991, fifth education regulation was in 2020. You just need to memorize the first one and the fifth one. Fifth one is the current one and there is no change from 2020. So first education regulation was notified on 1953 and the current one is the fifth one that was notified in the 2020. Education regulation now. What is the minimum qualification for being a pharmacist? That are the points for the education regulation. A person who has attained the age of 18 years, and now you can understand that in the 18, age of 18, you are passing your higher secondary examination, 12th board examination. So after that, you are going to study anything like D Farm or B Farm. If you are in the pharmacy profession, after the age of 18, you are going to start your diploma or bachelor of pharmacy. So a person who has attained the age of 18, minimum age is 18 years. That is the minimum requirement for the eligibility purpose. The duration of training, not less than 250 hours, are devoted to actual dispensing of prescription in recognized hospital or dispensary or pharmacy, and not less than 500 hours to nature and period of practical training. All of you have done your hospital training and your industrial training. Not all of you, some of you, and some is going to do. So that kind of trainings are also part of the education regulation. So this is the duration of training and the standard of examination. The equipment and facilities to be provided for student. Approval of the course of study and standard examination held by the Central Council. As you always doing for the semester and everything, that is occurred by your university, and your university is affiliated by UGC and AICTE and the PCI, of course. University must be affiliated by the PCI. So that is the exam controlled by the Central Council. So these are the points for the education regulation. And now the approval of course of study and the examination. How do you get the approval of pharmacist, of being a pharmacist? Any institute in India conducting a course of study for pharmacists apply to Central Council, and section deal with approval of course of study and the examination, and section 12.1. We focus on only on the highlighted points. In the section 12.1, approval will be granted only if the Central Council permits. Of course, after the examination, if the Central Council is permitting, then the approval of the course of study is granted in the section number 12.1. Student will be entitled to be examined under section 12.2. And pharmacy education also comes under the technical education. So the AICTE, as I told, also evaluate through expert committee and sign memorandum of understanding, that is the MOU, between AICTE and Central Council for approval under section 20. These are the points for approval of course of study and withdrawal of approval. Executive committee report to the Central Council and withdraw approval within 3 months from the notice. If there is any kind of problem that approval have to be withdrawn, then there is a 3 months of notice period, and after that the executive committee of the central government withdraws the approval of course of study. Next is the Pharmacy Council of India, that is PCI. Central Council, of course, it will be the Central Council because it is governed by the central government. Central Council constituent in 1949 by the central government. Reconstituted means election happens in every 5 years. The president and vice president are elected by the members. Dr. Montu Patel is the president of PCI in the current year, and the election last happened in 2022. Vice president is Professor Pramod Yole. So these are the some points. Now this is the important slide of today's class. Why? Because members are very much important. When you are going to see the Drug and Cosmetics Act also, you have to memorize that who are the members and how many number of the members are there in any kind of constitution. In the Drugs and Cosmetic Committee, you also have to notice how many ex officio members, elected members, nominated members are there. And in the Pharmacy Act also, we are going to study the members of PCI, and then we will study the members of State and Joint State Pharmacy Council. So in the members of PCI, first we see that the elected members are there, nominated members are there, and the ex officio members are also there. There are 8 elected members. Of them, 6 among the 6, uh, the 8 members are actually divided into 6, 1, 1. Okay, total 8. So, from the 6th person, 4 teachers will be there who are granted approval by UGC, University Grant Commission. From the University Grant Commission, they have to get the approval of being teacher, and from the 6th person, 4 will be teachers. 1 will be the Medical Council of India member and 1 registered pharmacist by the State Council. Got it? Hello,
ম্যাম, এমসিআইটা কি বললেন?
এটা বলো।
ইলেক্টেড যেখানে আছে ওই ওয়ান এমসিআই অ্যামং দ্য স্টেট মেম্বার।
MCI,
হ্যাঁ ম্যাম।
Medical Council of India.
ওকে।
Okay. So from that 8 elected members, there are division into 6, 1, 1. From that 6 member, 4 will be the teacher who are being granted the approval of the University Grant Commission. 1 member will be from Medical Council of India, that is the MCI, and 1 member will be registered pharmacist of the State Council. So this is the elected members. In the nominated members, there are, wait a minute, wait a minute, okay. Actually, here is one problem. That's why I stopped. This is the nominated members. And this is the ex officio members. Now you see, there is 3 ex officio members and 9 nominated members. The elected members are 8. The nominated members are 9. So in the 9 nominated members, there is again 6-2-1 division. In the elected members, there is 6-1-1, and in the nominated members, there is 6-2-1. Now, among the 6 people, again including 4 degree or diploma in pharmacy. There were 4 teachers in the elected members, and here is 4 person having degree or diploma in pharmacy among the 6 members. In the 2, one is approved by the University Grant Commission, one is approved by the AICTE. AICTE has also one act. We will study about the AICTE in some details tomorrow. AICTE is the All India Council for Technical Education. So one person have to be approved by the University Grant Commission. One person have to be approved by the AICTE. Here is written in very, like, there is not written as full sentence. So if you want to, you can write it. And when you are going to study it, you will remember that. Or unless there can be some confusion. So among the 6 members, there will be 4 person having degree or diploma in pharmacy. In the 2 member, one will be approved by the University Grant Commission, one will be approved by the AICTE, and the last one will be the registered pharmacist of the state government or the union territories, like that state, actually the state council registered pharmacist. So here is the nominated members, and in the ex officio 3 members will be there: the Director General of Health Services, the Director of Central Drug Laboratory, and the Drug Controller of India. These are the members of the ex officio: the Director General of the Health Services, the Director of Central Drug Laboratory, and the Drug Controller of India. This is the list of members of PCI. And you have to memorize it very well, because this is very important from your exam point of view. Actually, this slide is only important among the Pharmacy Act and the points of education regulation also. So these are the members of PCI. Now the State Pharmacy Council. After the formation of the PCI, the Pharmacy Council of India, there will be formation for the State Pharmacy Council. So the State Pharmacy Council and the Joint State Council are constituted by the state government. As I told, the State Pharmacy Council always by the state government, and the Joint State Pharmacy Council by the 2 different state governments. Duration again like 5 years. In every 5 years there will be election and the selection of the members of State Pharmacy Council and the Joint State Pharmacy Council. The State Council may appoint a registrar, that is the secretary. The registrar of the State Pharmacy Council is the secretary, and also a treasurer. Treasurer means who have the monetary involvement, who is going to involved in the monetary issues, is the treasurer. So the State Council may appoint the registrar, who is the secretary, and the treasurer also. Now this is one important slide again, that is the members of the State and Joint State Pharmacy Council. First comes the elected members. Again, there will be 3 types of members, just like the PCI: the elected members, the nominated members, and the ex officio members. In the elected member for the State Pharmacy Council, there will be 6 registered pharmacists and 1 member elected by the Medical Council of India. Okay, there will be 6 registered pharmacists. That was number 1. There was 1 registered pharmacist in case of the PCI, and for the State Pharmacy Council, there will be 6 registered pharmacists and 1 member who is elected by the Medical Council of India. In the Joint State Pharmacy Council, there will be 3 to 5 registered pharmacists and 1 member elected by the MCI again. So, the member of Medical Council of India is common. In case of the Joint State Pharmacy Council, the number of registered pharmacists will be 3 to 5. In case of State Pharmacy Council, the number will be 6. So, this is the elected members for the State Pharmacy and Joint State Pharmacy Council. In case of the nominated members, there will be 5 registered pharmacists and at least 3 are possessing degree or diploma in pharmacy nominated by the state government. 5 registered pharmacists will be there in case of the nominated members of the State Pharmacy Council, and in the Joint State Pharmacy Council, 2 to 4 registered pharmacists will be there. In the ex officio members for the State Pharmacy Council, there will be Chief Administrative Medical Officer of the state. For Joint State Pharmacy Council also, there will be Chief Administrative Medical Officer of each of the participating state. Means the Joint State Pharmacy Council, as I told, that different states agreements are there in case of the constitution of the Joint State Pharmacy Council. There are different state involvement. So, the Chief Administrative Medical Officer of each participating state will be there in case of the ex officio member of the Joint State Pharmacy Council. And again, the officer in charge of the Drug Control Organization for the State Pharmacy Council and officer in charge of the Drug Control Organization of each of the participating state for the Joint State Pharmacy Council, and the government analyst also. Government analyst in case of the State Pharmacy Council and government analyst of each participating state for the Joint State Pharmacy Council. So this is all about the members of State and Joint State Pharmacy Council. Have you understood?
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
So heading towards today's last slide, that is the offense and penalties for the contravention of Pharmacy Act. This 6 months, 6 months, 6 months are the jail custody time. There is not written, but I told. So falsely claiming to be registered pharmacist. On the first conviction, 500 rupees fine, and on the repeated conviction, that is the second conviction, fine of 1000 rupees and 6 months of custody. Dispensing by unregistered person, dispensing of medicine by the person who is not a registered pharmacist. That is the point. That is 1000 rupees fine and or the 6 months of custody, or both can be possible also. Failure to surrender certificate of registration. The registration certificate you are going to get or you have already got after your bachelor degree. So failure to surrender that certificate, 50 rupees fine, and willful obstruction of an inspector. As I told, in separate section there will be inspection by PCI or the State Pharmacy Council also. So willful obstruction of that inspector, 1000 rupees fine or 6 months of custody, or both. So these are the offences and penalties. Now you tell me if you have any kind of problem regarding today's class.
Ma'am, 8 number slide টা দেখাবেন।
কোনটা?
8 নম্বরটা।
Anyone having any other problem? Pharmacy Act is very easy actually. Tomorrow we are going to study some small discussions regarding some act, and after that, after puja, we will study the Drugs and Cosmetics Act. That is the most important. Drugs and Cosmetics Act. Tell me if you are having any problem.
No, ma'am.
Thank you. Then
Thank you, ma'am.
today, thank you.
Thank you.